ramblings of a madman. Man. Today we're going to be discussing, recapping, and reviewing episode 602 of The Walking Dead Season 6. It was called JSS was the title of the episode, directed by Jennifer Lynch, who is David Lynch's daughter, and I'm a fan of her father's work. It was written by, I believe, Seth Hoffman, and it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very well paced. It was just action packed. So I'm just going to kind of go through each character is the way I like to break down an episode myself. And well, I opened with Enid, and it's in a flashback. So I was like, oh man, okay, it's a flashback. I was expecting it to be like, what the fuck was making that horn blow? You know, when all the zombies started coming from the big Rick plan. And so it's a flashback. Enid's sitting there on an SUV. It's a white SUV. And so when I saw it was a white car, I was like, that thing's getting covered in blood right away. That's the first thing that went through my head. And you hear people arguing about how, well, I don't know what that is about the starter or some shit like that. And it's her parents. I guess they're trying to get the car started. And, you know, they have no mechanical knowledge whatsoever when it comes to that. And Enid's like standing there looking. She's like, oh my god, they're coming. And zombies start coming. She's warning her parents. And we hear a scream. It kind of cuts to her sitting there in the car. And, you know, she's covered in blood. There's blood on the white car. And it shows what she's looking at. And it's her parents being eaten by a zombie or zombies. And so then it's Enid's little journey for a while. She's writing JSS in the dirt. And one time she's hiding from zombies, another time she writes it when she's eating a turtle. Looks like the zombie that ate her parents. She writes it with its bones. JSS. Then she just walks up on Alexandria. Enid walks up on Alexandria and a little decisive about going in or not. So she goes in. And that was the beginning of the episode. You know, we get our opening credits and I was just like, oh man, I thought, you know, some shit was going down. The wolves were going to attack. So then we go back into Alexandria, and I think it's like Carl pushing baby Judith around. Little baby Shane. Baby Shane's in the house, and getting pushed around by our older brother. And he's looking over, and he sees his girl's little Ron boy. Little Ronbo over there. And he's like, okay, gives a little evil eye sign. Here comes Father Gabriel, of course. Perfect time, Father Gabriel. That's what this guy is, and he's being apologetic still. You know, he knows that he did wrong, especially, you know, of course what he did to all his flock of people. But when he ratted the people out to Deanna, well, they didn't rat them out. I mean, they falsely accused them of what they weren't, and he's apologizing to Carl, and Carl being like the little bit of good left in the kid. You know, he's hanging on by a thread, and he's like, okay, alright, I'll help you out. We'll start with a machete, come by around after 3. Alright, but this time he turns, and Enid's like looking at him, but hugging Ron, and, you know, head games with the boy. And then we cut to Carol, and she's with Fat Girl. Fat Girl talking food, imagine that. And she's with somebody named Shelly, I think, and Miss Niedermeyer, the famous pasta lady. Well, I imagine it to be a lot fucking older the way they described her, like Eric and Aaron and Spencer at the dinner party last season. And I don't know, I mean, she was like maybe in her early 50s. She was a smoker, so maybe she looked older than she really was. And Carol's got like some celery soup, and they're like, oh my god, it's been there since the beginning. Oh, girl, you do amazing work. That cola canned ham, girl, is delicious. Oh, you're such a hero. And it's like, these people have no fucking clue who they're talking to. So, as the conversation continues, Niedermeyer, of course, starts mentioning the pasta maker, so reminding the people who she is. And Carol's like, you know, I can teach you how to make pasta, and you should quit the smoking. You know, there's nothing trying to kill us these days. And Niedermeyer's like, you know, gives her that "fuck you, bitch" with her eyes look, and then Carol goes on her little way for a while. So Deanna and Maggie are out there, and Maggie, make her old man proud. She's like farming it up. She's like, found these seeds. You got tomato seeds, all sorts of shit in there, Deanna. We're going to grow these crops up just like my daddy taught me, and that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to love on my mangaloon when he gets back. And Deanna's just, you know, still Debbie down in it. And Maggie's like, no, we're going to grow these crops what Reggie would want. And there's this guy, they're like, hey, Richards, what's going on? So then, so Eugene and Tara walk into the infirmary, and there's like this chick sitting there. They're trying to get some aspirin, and she's like, hey, and they're like, oh, hey. It's like they already know each other, but don't really know each other. And it's, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Denise Cloyd for you. Spoiler alert. Is a comic book character, and is a big-time character that plays a big role coming up in this story arc and in the still up to date in the comics. I love Dr. Denise Cloyd. She's an awesome character, and I'm not going to spoil too much about her right now. I have Merritt Weaver playing her, who is an Emmy Award-winning actress for Showtime's Nurse Jackie. I'm going to just call her Dr. C. Dr. C gives her backstory was like she was going to be a surgeon, and she had all these panic attacks and started getting into psychology. So she's like a psychiatrist, a psychologist, something. And Pete would never let her in there because I guess he was like, you know, not a real doctor. You're not a doctor, and would kick her out of there because, you know, he'd be drunk. Let's cut back to Carol cooking that thing. She puts the timer on 45 minutes, pops in a casserole, tick, 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 goes out, sees Miss Niedermeyer sitting there smoking her cigarette, and smoking her cigarette away, and, you know, Carol's like sitting there and thinking like, you know, maybe she's going to talk to her or something. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a fucking wolf appears and chops the bitch with a machete, I think maybe in the hamstring, just cuts the bitch down. And then just, you know, overhand tomahawk right to the dome. You know, Carol, go time, Carol. You know, she ties her little like red Rambo headband on, puts her big girl panties on. It's time to go to war. So she takes off out the back. Sees Carl. Carl's like, they're everywhere. He starts coming down with a gun. She's like, stay here, protect Judith. Carol heads out. I see Spencer. He's sitting there trying to shoot it with the sniper rifle. And he's missing. He's panicked. This guy's never seen no shit like this before in his life. You know, everybody forgets that, you know, the survivor group of Rick, the Chosen One, God's second favorite son, Rick Grimes, his group is so badass, we forget that, like, how soft these Alexandrians are. I mean, can you imagine the shit? You're just like, alright, for example, you smokers out there, you're taking a smoke break, and all of a sudden some motherfucker starts chopping on you with a machete out of left field, alright? Well, you know, you're not expecting that shit. You're not ready for it. You know, maybe Rick would be, and Daryl be ready for it. But not Alexandrians. It's Spencer's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And he's missing, and we see this blonde lady, like, get cut down by a wolf. You know, he's like, clubbed her up real nice. And looks like Rosita and maybe Aaron like grab her, and Spencer's like, okay. And this the huge semi truck, like one of the ones that Daryl and Aaron ran into when Morgan saved him last season, starts racing towards Alexandria, and Spencer, you know, is of course missing the shots, and just slams into the fence, kind of like the sniper tower where Spencer is, and it falls down a little bit. And Spencer gets out. He's trying to, like, stop the horn. Well, let's go to Deanna and Maggie are sitting there like, hey, Richards, what's that noise they hear? And all of a sudden, Richards like, huh? And it's like, who the fuck is Richards? And all of a sudden, Richards gets a Molotov cocktail to his fucking face and does, like, a front-forward nice stunt by whoever the stunt guy was, stuntman, on fire, flipping over the fence. I think it was a mixture of practical and CG effects. I mean, I think some of the guy was definitely really on fire. And it's like, oh, okay, that's who Richards is. It's the Molotov cocktail victim of the episode. So, R.I.P. Richards. And then cuts to Deanna. You know, she sees Richards, you know, her best friend here. You know, everybody's best friend and homeboy Richards is sitting here burned, and she's just like, oh, Maggie's already, you know, go time. She's like, let's go, and Deanna's like, oh, and got this look on her face. Which, man, there's a lot of good acting in this episode, a lot of surprised and traumatized faces. And so we go back over to Spencer on the horn, and all of a sudden it's fucking dun 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 dun, Morgan out of nowhere, boom, kills the zombie that's like wedged up there. I don't know if it's the guy driving the truck or if they, I don't know what happened. They just wedged the zombie underneath it and sent it forward. But it's a zombie and Morgan kills it. You know, I don't have a problem with killing zombies. He ain't like Herschel putting him in the barn or nothing. And he's like, let's go over the fence, what happened? And Spencer's like, there's this group and they attacked us and they're killing our people. Morgan's like, alright, well, put on your big boy pants. Let's go to work. And Spencer's just like, he's like, reminds me of that fucking guy in Saving Private Ryan that won't go up the stairs and save the guy. Anyways, and Morgan's just like, hard, which was my favorite line of the episode, just hard. And he takes over, he didn't really say it like that, he said it more cool, calm, hard, and took off. And so then we go back to Carol, and she's just like sneaking through the shit, bum, 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 bum. And she's coming around, and I think it's the girl Shelly. It might have been Shelly Niedermeyer was the name, but this other girl, who I'm calling Shelly, is like getting gutted like by this this person we learn his name is a fib, or a fid. And it's in like this cool little black like outfit with this hood. And like slices her fucking guts. Like a good belly cut. And Carol comes around there and just like does her fucking thing with her knife, you know, the brass knuckle knife, the Carol knife, Miss Peltier, and she takes her friend, she's like, shh, it's a nice little touchy moment, and of course stabs her in the back of the head, and then it's like, nice little wide shot of Carol sitting there, like, covered in her friend's blood, the blood dripping off the concrete little patio, and like, ruckus going on all in the background. Alright, so next time we see Carol, she's like dressed like that, a Fid guy. And the only reason I know that's his name is one of the people are like, yo, a Fid later. But she's dressed like him. So she just starts going around blasting fucking any wolf she can. Or any, I guess, Alexandrian she can. For, if an Alexandrian, you know, put them out of their misery. She's putting people out of their misery. She's just killing wolves no matter what. And, of course, she runs into Morgan, and they have like a little confrontation. Let's go back to the love triangle of Ron, Enid, and Carl. And so we cut to Ron just like, man, everybody hates me, this sucks, nobody cares, I killed my dad, fuck Rick, fuck Carl. And then here's a wolf behind him, and man, the guy who's playing Ron starts sprinting, and the guy who's playing the wolf behind him sprinting. These guys are running balls to the fucking wall. And all of a sudden they're, Carl! And of course it's Carl Grimes at your service. And he shoots the wolf in the leg, and like Ron's like, oh my god. And Enid's standing there like the damsel in distress at the door. And Carl's pretty much like, come with me if you want to live. And Ron's like, no. And then Carl's like, goes up to the wolf. The wolf's like, oh, please help me. And he goes for Carl. And Carl's like, struggles for a second. He's like, I'm Carl Grime. Boom! Blows the guy's fucking head off. And does the come with me if you want to live to fucking Ron Bow. And Ron, you know, I think, looks over, sees Enid, and it's just like, dun dun dun. And he can't stand it. He's like, oh, you fucking Carl now? And takes off running. And then, Maggie goes out and pretty much takes Deanna to Spencer, I guess. So, and she's like, okay, let's go back in, we're all met up. And she's like, no, I'm no good. Pretty much, I'm no good, dead. And, you know, she's just being a coward, kind of like Eugene used to be. And so Maggie's just like, okay, lock and load. And she leaves, she heads out. Alright, so we cut back to the infirmary with, you know, Eugene, Tara, Dr. C, and they all of a sudden here comes Aaron and Rosita and Eric, and they're bringing in the blonde chick that we saw get shot through Spencer's sniper rifle scope, and it's Holly. Well, I'll be damned, Holly, spoiler alert, she was in the comic, and Holly was has a much bigger part in the comic if you didn't know, and they talk Dr. C up to, they're like, you have to do it, you have to do it. It's like, no, I can't, you have to. No, I can't, God damn it, you have to. No, I can't, kind of thing. And then she finally saves the day, and she, well, saves the day by coming to the woman's rescue, trying to help her. And make a long story short, she doesn't. She's dead. She's dead. That's it. And then it's cut to Carol, and Carol, still out there kicking ass, runs into Morgan. Morgan's like fucking with this guy, and is like trying to talk him down. Carol just blows his fucking head off, walks up to him. Or maybe she stabbed him. Either way, kills him. Morgan's just like, you don't have to kill people. And she says, of course we do. And he says, Carol, you don't like it. You know, Morgan's just got some kind of inner zen where he can just read people. He knows. You know, it's Morgan, the Jedi Master, the Donatello, the David Carradine, Keith Carradine, whichever one, the Kung Fu guy. You know, and just walks the earth with a stick and whoops everybody's ass, but doesn't kill anyone until they. Okay, all right. Long story short here, he runs into the one wolf, the wolf that was talking to him at the campfire. He's like, I want everything you got, buddy. Hey, I want everything you have. I'm going to take it. Whether you like it or not, we are the wolves. We are the W. Here we come. I don't know why I sounded like Bill Clinton. The wolves are run by Bill Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Go get all their shit. Bring it back to me. I survived. I am the drug lord. I take. Intercepted by the drug lord, the wolf. So anyways, that was terrible. So he runs into the wolf that he met at the campfire, the one that, you know, even wanted his fucking oatmeal, and got Donatello, who got tied up. And I don't know if he killed him or not. He says, I'm sorry, and hits him with a stick. I'm thinking he didn't kill him, because if he's preaching to everybody about how you can't kill people, I know he might not have had a choice with that, but I'm saying he didn't kill that guy. That guy, something's going to come back. All right, so Carol, all right, back up, and Carol has Morgan in a chain dragging him, just like the rest of the wolves take their people to chop up with axes, which was amazing. My favorite effect of the week was watching people get hacked apart. The ramblings of a madman. Man. They see Father Gabriel getting attacked by a guy, and Morgan's like, wait! And Carol's pretty much like, fuck him. And Morgan's like, no, and like takes, you know, the chain out of her hands, runs over there, saves the guy. Carol just starts going boom, 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 boom. I think she kills like 4 people here and is running into Fat Girl Land to save Fat Girl. Well, she happens to save Fat Girl. She's running there to make sure the wolves don't get the fucking guns. And Morgan's over there saving Father Gabriel. And then the wolf's telling him, is like, Carol saves Olivia, pretty much gives her a gun, tells her to blast anybody's fucking head off that comes through the door that's not somebody she's ever seen. To Carl, he's sitting there, Enid shows up, she's like, I won't come and tell you goodbye, and hands him like this, like, the master set of keys of Alexandria, I guess. I don't know if she just collected them or what. But he's like, no, you're not leaving. You can't leave. We're not going to let him come in this house. And they pretty much sit back to back, and he's like, you can't tell me goodbye. And she's like, okay, I won't. Some shit like that. And then, let's see, what else? What the fuck else is going on in this episode? So, cut back to Jessie. All this shit's going on. She's like, I gotta find Ron. And Sam's just like, no, you can't go. And she's like, Sam, I gotta go. She's like, Sam, God damn it, I gotta go find your brother. And then like, king. That's the sound of a wolf breaking in the catfish way. And so she's like, shit, let's go to the Daddy Don't Beat Us closet. I'm sorry. Alright, so let's go to the Daddy Don't Beat Us closet. And so they go in there, and she's got her gun out. And like, the wolf comes in, I guess they're looting the place. And then they're not. Then we cut back to her, and she's like, okay, you stay here. And she goes out there, and it's a female wolf. Oh man, they come in all shapes and sizes, ladies and gentlemen, all sexes and races. The wolves, they are a non-discriminatory organization that come to steal your shit and carve W's in their heads. Or W's are the ones they kill, or I don't know, they are a wild, rompus room full of motherfuckers. Alright, so go back to Jessie. Jessie's like, Sam, stay in the daddy don't beat me closet. And Sam's like, oh, and she just shuts the door and locks it. And all of a sudden, here comes a female wolf, attacks her, and surprise attack. And they start going at it, and then Jessie grabs her fucking, I'm gonna cut everybody's hair in the apocalypse so I don't go insane scissors, and just starts going insane on the bitch with the scissors right in her chest, just she's like screaming, like, ah! Blood's flying up at her, you know, oh, she looks sexy too, she's doing it, and then all of a sudden, like, here comes Ron, Rombo in the background, everybody's happy guy, and he sees his mom like, ah! And then just goes and like domes it, cut the commercial. So Ron got to see his mom just like go absolutely crazy. It's like, oh my god, Mom's dangerous! And stormed off. And, favorite zombie of the episode, because there wasn't that many. Only a couple to even remember me. The zombie in the car, the zombie that had his throat slit later, that could have been a reanimated Alexandrian. And Richards, my homeboy Richards, everybody's favorite character on The Walking Dead, Richards. The guy that was on the outpost watching for Deanna and Maggie, where they're sitting there and they're like, they hear the wolf start attacking. I'm like, what is that, Richards? Richard turns to get his face hit with a Molotov cocktail and engulfed in flames and does almost like a Wilhelm scream, like, ah! Off his little lookout tower. And so after the wolves' attack is pretty much over, they come up, Maggie, and head stabs the reanimated Richards, who's just like a charred, like zombie sitting there, kind of thing, and she stabs it. That was my favorite zombie of the episode. I know, I got a thing for burned zombies. They're just cool, you know. The zombie walks straight through fire, still coming at you. It's scary stuff. Let's see, Aaron and Eric, they're with Rosita, trying to rescue Holly, bring her to Dr. C. Aaron tells Eric, I've got to go back out there, I have to. Eric's like, I know. Like a Han Solo, I know, I love you. And so Rosita and Aaron head back out. Tara's going to go, and Dr. C's like, no, you got dizzy earlier from helping Eugene with some bullshit. So Aaron and Rosita are going around. They have to kill a couple wolves. Later in the episode, Aaron is going around head stabbing, you know, the people that could come back, either wolves or Alexandrian, and comes across his backpack. The backpack they left in the finale last year when Morgan saved him and Daryl at the, I don't know if it's the wolves' headquarters, but they had a bunch of zombies there where they had the trucks. Well, I saw one of those trucks this episode, so many more wolf attacks coming, I have a feeling. Bigger volume too. But poor Aaron, he sees it and sees the pictures are in there, and you can see it on his face. Was it Ross Marquand? Amazing performance. Slash with Melissa McBride performance of the episode, just because of that scene when he sees those pictures, you can tell he just is taking sole responsibility. This is my fault that this happened because I left my pack. Right then, just on his face. So those were my favorites of the episode. Favorite zombie, favorite performance. Got those. Got my zombie gloves. Okay, guess what? No Rick, no Daryl, no Michonne, no Abraham, no Sasha, no Tobin for you Tobin lovers out there, or Francine, who, spoiler alert, I'm guessing Francine's taking the place of Holly, maybe, if they still go any of that story there. No Sasha. Oh, no Heath. I mean nobody that was in the last episode doing the dictatorship plan. What now is he Bill Clinton now? Nobody in the dictatorship plan were even in this episode. Didn't even show any of them except for Morgan because Rick sent him back last episode. Okay, from the moment that Carol set the timer on her casserole till the moment Carl takes the casserole out of the oven when the alarm goes off was the wolves' attack, and it played out in 45 minutes of real time, which I thought was awesome. You rarely see that, especially on a TV show. Let something happen in real time, and brilliantly done. I hope the season continues on this pace, and we just get another action-packed episode. I'm predicting next week, Rick and the gang, the herding group, will get some screen time. And got to remember that, similar to when the governor attacked, the group's kind of split up right now. When that horn went off, remember Daryl, I think Abraham and Sasha are at the very beginning of the herd. Well, there's about half of the herd still intact, following them. So they have to continue with them. Everybody else is just scattered. So, like I remember the Comic-Con trailer, Daryl was kind of like out there by himself. Maybe that will happen. Who knows what will happen with Sasha and Abraham. Will anybody get back to Alexandria? We don't know until next Sunday night, 9 o'clock on AMC. This is CaTFisH for Greybeard Gaming. We're here at the CaTFisH Corner. Follow us. Come to Twitter. Oh, shit. Come to Twitter at GBeard Gaming, and on YouTube we're Greybeard Gaming. We're on Facebook and Instagram, everything very soon. We're working on that. Videos will get better as time goes along. I don't have anything really else more to say than, do you want to party? It's party time. Send CaTFisH some more brains. Send CaTFisH more brains. Take care, guys. Holly died.